Welcome to Long Arm Wednesday. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. Thank you very much for joining us. We're working on a customer quilt today. Actually, we're just finishing it up. It's quite large, 98 by 96 or 97, something, pretty much a big old square. Lovely, lovely pattern on it. It's actually a new quilter. And she had this little image that she liked. I guess she saw it on Pinterest and said, okay, I want to make this quilt. I'm like, okay, well, we can make this. So we chose a bit of pre-cut batiks and then a nice color to complement them all. And she just did her up her own little pattern. I'm just going to keep going here. Did up her own little pattern as what size she needed, because we went from the pre-cuts and just gauged by that to make her half square triangles. And that's all that these are, is 2 half square triangles right together, right here together, and then nice big strip in between. And you angle either way, or angle them both the same way, or the arrows or feathers, or however you're gonna look. Anyways, she did a fantastic job. I really love it. We chose, or she chose, well, because I thought it looked pretty too. Celery green thread to go all over the whole thing, and it's literally Goose Down by Dave Dennis is the pattern. It's literally one of my favorites. I've done it on a few quilts, and I thought she'd like it on this one. For one, it's an all over, it's got some movement to it, and since she chose a nice solid background, or the backing, it's just going to stand out in its own entity in itself with the whole feathers, right? So if she wanted to flip it over, it's just as beautiful. So it's just going to finish up here. It's got maybe about, I don't know, 8 minutes, 6 or 8 minutes left to do. I'm not exactly sure. Kind of stopped it so we can at least get some of it in there. And you can see it stitching up. I do have it going past, this way past the quilt and this way past the quilt, because edge to edge I wanted to cover all of it, just all of it completely. Nothing, no half feather, or there's going to be half feathers, but there's, you know, no, it could have went all the way to the corner but didn't, sort of thing. So it's covered. It's completely covered. I've actually used one bobbin per row. That just goes to show how much thread is in that one row, right? So I could have done a little bit further apart, but I don't know, just really this seemed to be the best size pattern for it, you know. So, and I think it did 3 across, and the pattern height was 18 inches, so it's 18 this way, and then it was like 98 or whatever it was this way. So, and I extended it a little bit past, like I said, come right up to the edges. It's almost finished this whole top part, and then it's going to come around here and do a little loop this way and stitch all the little, some feathers on some side and some feathers on the other side. It's one of my favorites. I actually did it on the Canada, my maple leaf quilt back there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I did it with white thread one way and then flipped and turned the quilt and then did it with red thread the other way. The same pattern, just different colored threads, and of course the feathers now overlap each other, and I liked it. That was, to me, it needed something a little bit different, so. I did it with white thread first, and then when you went to go look at the back, you couldn't see anything. I'm like, you can't see any of the quilting because it's white backing. I'm like, I'm gonna pop some red on this. Make it seen. So you can see it comes all the way down. Not worried about it. She gave me lots and lots of backing. It's like this much wider than the quilt top, and probably I got another 2 feet on the other side. And I gave an extra bit at the top too, because I believe I have some of those feathers just going up over the top. Yeah, it just goes to show you, if you find a nice pattern that you like, you can, if you just look at it and maybe get somebody else's opinion of, okay, it's complicated. Do I have to cut these triangle, these diamond shapes? No, you don't. You can make half square triangles, pop them together, boom. Abracadabra. And I have been trimming up some of the little loose threads here. So it's been going along. Don't really want to get any caught up underneath the stitching threads. So one of the things you do is, if the machine is busy, you still come in and tidy up any little stray threads and make sure it's going down smooth. There's a loose one there. There we go. Make a little pile. Because when I give this back to my customer, I want it to be beautiful. I don't want them to think of all the threads they left behind, or they were in such a rush to get it to me so I can quilt it up and then get it back home on the bed or the guest bed, or, you know, gift for somebody. trim them up as well if they like. I mean, it's that way they just have to pop the binding on and go. Couple more curves left. So happy we're into some nicer weather. Oh my goodness, we finally got our garden planted a couple weekends ago, and we're very excited about that. We're crossing our fingers that most of it would survive. It kind of got a chilly that weekend, so it was the May 2-4 weekend we planted them. So, well, actually it was May 21st and 22nd, but why do they call it 2-4 all the time? I don't know. It's not like you get 4 days off. No, you only get 3 if you're lucky. Anyways, Victoria weekend. I always wondered if my niece Victoria always grew up that day was just for her, because it's Victoria Day. You know, when people have that name, right, they figure, hey, it's my day. Not only do I get my birthday, I get a holiday. You need a Laura Lynn holiday. Where everybody just sews all day. It's not really a holiday. It's like a sew sweatshop. I'm up for that. Let's go. It's a retreat with benefits, right? You know, you get to make something, either for yourself or for someone else. I love doing customer quilts. We talk about it. Actually, one of the first questions I ask them is, one, what color do they like for thread? You know, because they can pick. She could have picked pink or purple for this thread, and it would have popped out. And all you would have seen was probably the feathers. But I'm glad it was like a subdued tone that matched a lot of greens here. Sometimes they don't know what they like. So the next question is what don't you like? So if they say, oh, you know, do what you like, but you have yourself a bird phobia and I slap feathers all over it, you're going to be like, I don't like that. So, you know, I always ask, what don't you like? If you don't like geometric shapes? Okay, poof, that's off the list. I'm not going to do anything crazy, squares or triangles or anything like that. More natural moving items like the feathers and the flowers and the leaves or something like that. You know, you hate fall, so you don't want leaves on your quilt? Okay, I understand that. Fall's not your favorite season, you know? That's usually it's really the difficult question is they get it here, they've been working so hard on it for so long, and then they're like, oh, I don't know, you pick. I'm like, well, I can go put like flaming soccer balls all over it if you like, you know, or horses or flowers and, you know, plaid shapes and stuff, right? The option is endless from the Pantos and from the computer software itself. And there's more being developed all the time. You know, a few longer Wednesdays ago, we developed our own pattern. Pop did it, found a picture for me, and there we go. We had ourselves stitching out a lovely beaver for the Canada's 150th wall hanging. It was beautiful. Lots of people loved it. And the customer did as well, which to me, that speaks volumes in itself. That was literally the first thing she noticed. She went the bears and then the beaver, and she was happy with it. So, and to me, I consider that job well done. You know, stepping up a little bit, making sure that she's happy with everything. And if she wants beavers, by golly, we'll find her a beaver. Almost done, like 3 or 4 feathers left. And then I'll unclip it and I'll just pull it out so you can see this big, beautiful quilt. It's been quite a process working on it because each row is stitched out at about maybe 45 minutes, sometimes, 50 minutes. It's just going to do a little bounce up here, but it's not like it needs it, but we're just going to let it go and do its stuff. Perfect. Okay, we'll just bring the bobbin up to the top. We'll take a look at that bobbin case. Like, did I start it at the very beginning? Oh yeah, check that out. There's like nothing on that. When I did the other second to last row, there was like barely anything on it. I thought, oh, what happened there? All right, so leave those there, and I'll unclamp this. Okay, and I will, oh, thanks, Pop. Awesome. And we will do this one just a little bit so I can get a grip on it. People say, haha, Good chance. Try and get a grip on it. And this will pull out just a smidge. Actually, I may have to do this one a little bit more. Okay. Oh, Clive's like, oh, you're interrupting my space. All right. Check this out. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? I'm restricted by my leader grip. Oh, the tape's coming off. That's okay. It's lovely. She did a beautiful job on piecing it together. I hope I did a beautiful job on quilting it and that she's ecstatic with it. So I think this literally was the best pattern for this quilt. It's beautiful. I love the batiks, the dragonflies right there. I mean, and they're all in sorts of different colors, and there's leaves. There's a leaf right there. Stunning, absolutely stunning. So I'm going to get it all trimmed up and get it off the long arm and call my customer. So I'll call this a long arm Wednesday, and we will chat with you soon. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Take care.